Welcome back to the channel. So I am here in the Fiori Launchpad and we will navigate to the application called Migrate Your Data, Migration Cockpit. Select this application and now we will create a new migration object via the Create button to migrate our profit centers. So you can see here we can either migrate directly from another SAP system or we can migrate data using so-called staging tables. We will do the latter one for now. So we select this one. We are now forwarded here to the next screen where we need to provide a name, ztest01. Then the system assigns automatically a mass transfer ID later on for the jobs that we run in the background for our migration. And then we can choose here the database connection. So either you utilize a local SAP S/4HANA database schema or we utilize a so-called remote SAP HANA database schema. The latter one would be if we have a separate database where we want to prepare the data. For now, we will say local SAP S/4HANA database schema. Okay, let's scroll down a bit. Here we can see step 2. Click on this one. Now we need to assign a development package. So either you must create this package in the background, or in my case, I will just simply select a local package. Then we click on step 3. Now it's time to choose our migration object. In this case, we want to migrate profit centers. So we search for profit center. And here it is. We select this one and then we move it to the other side via this button. This is fine. So we can scroll down again, click on review. Here we can see all the 3 steps that we just processed. We could edit them, but for now we will say this is fine. Just one more thing before we click on create project. You can always check here the documentation via this button. This is something I would always advise you because this will navigate you here to the SAP Help portal where many more information about this migration object is being displayed, including mapping instructions and tasks and so on. Okay, let's go back. Now we click on create project. We can see now our project was created. We can navigate into the project and now we need to wait a bit. As you can see, there are 2 running activities. We can even click on those and click on view all running activities. And here you can see right now the system is preparing our migration. So let's go back now and I will just fast forward a bit. And now you can see the running activities are finished and we can click here on download template. We can either download this template as an XML file or as various CSV files. I will do the latter one so that I have a single file. Click on OK and then you can see here it's downloaded. So now what you need to do is you need to open a plain Excel file. Let me just do it in the background. And now all you need to do is you need to drag and drop your downloaded template onto this plain Excel file. So I will now drag and drop it over here. And you can see now the template is being displayed. All of the migration templates look quite the same. We have here an introduction where some information is being displayed. So some general information about, amongst others, the sizing. So how much data we can actually insert into this Excel file for uploading. Then we have here the field list. So those are all the fields that we can fill in this template. Also, you can see here, quite importantly, in the column E, the importance is being displayed. So whether this field is mandatory or not. Then the type of this field and also the length. Next off, we have here the master record. And this is actually highlighted here in orange because this sheet is mandatory and we must fill some information here. So let's now start and fill this information from left to right. So we will start here with the controlling area. As you know, the controlling area is the highest hierarchy in our managerial accounting or also named controlling. So I'll just provide one over here. Then we need to provide an ID for the profit center. Let's say this one over here. A validity. So from when till when this profit center should be valid. As you can see here, column E is not mandatory as it is not marked in orange. So we could insert here the language in which names are being displayed. And just a small hint, you can actually expand this row over here to see more information about the fields. For now, we will leave here the language empty. Then we need to give the profit center a name. Let's say test, like that. Description, person responsible. So as you might know from my other videos, the person responsible is still a free text field because the person responsible for this profit center does not necessarily need to have an existing SAP user. So we'll just say test, whereas the user responsible, the system will validate against the users being active in the system. So I'll just assign my user. Then we have the standard hierarchy node. As you know, each and every profit center must be assigned to a standard hierarchy. And this standard hierarchy for sure you must create beforehand in the customizing. Let me just insert. And let's go to the right. Here you can see we could fill the department and segment. The latter one I will do for now. for our segment reporting. Then we have a section for the address information. However, all of those fields are optional. So you could fill them, but we will just go through them right now. We have a communication section where we can store some more communication information, more address information, and some indicators. For now, this is fine. We filled the mandatory fields. Last but not least, we have here a company code assignment. So here we will already assign the profit center to a company code. So we select A000 again, our profit center number. We will take over the validity like that, and the company code we want to assign this profit center to. So this is fine. We'll now save, and that's it. We can close the Excel and navigate here back to our migration object. So now we can click here on upload file to upload our file. Here we are forwarded to a new window where we can now upload our file via this button, or we can also drag and drop it in this area over here. I will just do the latter one. Now you can see here the first validation was successful. If this is not successful, then we can always select our file and click on monitoring and see the error messages. In this case, you would need to correct the template and re-upload it again. Please be aware that once we first uploaded our template, data will be stored over here in the table section. As you can see, there are rows in the staging table. So if you have an erroneous file, then before uploading the correction, you must first delete those entries over here. So you must choose the name and click on delete all records. Only afterwards you are able to upload the file over here again. And for sure you must delete the erroneous one. This is also something I've shown you in action in my video about the data migration for general ledger accounts. So I will simply leave you the link in the description of this video. So make sure to check it out afterwards. For now this is fine. We can go back and click on the next action, which is called prepare. Now the data is being prepared. As you can see, there is a consistency check mark. However, this is only necessary if the data was transferred here, not via the file approach that we took, but if we utilized another tool for our data preparation. So now we can leave it as is and click on prepare staging tables. I will fast forward a bit because this job is running for a couple of seconds. And now we have here the next action called mapping tasks. Let's select this one. Here we must now confirm all the mapping. So we can either select this button over here and confirm everything en masse, or we can also navigate into the single ones and check here if the mapping is correct, or correct it if necessary. For now, let me go back. I will just confirm all, hit on OK, and you can see all data has been confirmed. Let's go back. Now we can simulate the data migration by this button. We can simulate all instances, random 10%, random 500, or a custom selection. As we are just migrating a single profit center, we will select all instances. In case you are creating lots of profit centers, I would advise you to select random 10% for instance, or random 500. Click on Start Simulation. Now the simulation is running. This will also take a while. Now you can see the simulation was successful, so we could actually migrate the data. You can always also click here and then see more information by navigating into the simulated data. And here you can see what it would look like. So this is fine. We go back again, and then we click on Migrate. All instances, start migration. There's a warning message that this can't be undone, but this is okay. So we click on OK. And we can see the migration was successful. So now we can actually inspect the new profit center. And therefore I would always recommend you to go back to the SAP Help portal that I've shown you before, because here in the post-processing, you can see how we can validate our data. In this case, via the application called Manage Profit Centers version 2. So we go to Manage Profit Centers application. Then we will search for our profit center. Hit on Go. And now you can see here our profit center. We can navigate into this one, and then we will see all the information was filled accordingly. This marks the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If so, then please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to not miss any more content. Also make sure to subscribe to my Patreon, where we have a community chat and where I post lots of informative blog posts about SAP. The link is in the bio of my channel. Thanks a lot and see you next time.